Today is Halloween. You say there's nothing scarier than the Biden agenda. Tommy, frighten us with your ghoulish take on what Joe Biden has done to America.
Well, hey, listen, happy Halloween, Americans. I don't need to tell you what you see every single day. You see the world crumbling around us, and you see our president on vacation in Delaware every weekend. But just beyond the optics of that, you also should be very afraid when you go to the grocery store and you can't really afford to buy eggs. You have to take things out of your cart. You really should be afraid when you can't afford your rent, which means you also can't afford to put a down payment on a house or pay mortgage rates. Those things should terrify you. Our wide open southern border, in which people on the terror watch list are likely slipping through the cracks beyond those that have been apprehended. That should terrify you. Looking at our economy and the projections for our economy should terrify you. Yes, it's Halloween. We're all excited to dress up, but the most terrifying thing right now is government overreach, and it's the Democrats that we have at the helm that don't seem to want to correct course, don't seem to want to fix the policies that they've created, and they believe that more government and more of their policies are what will solve the policies they've made that are destroying our country to begin with.
Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize y'all's neighborhood. Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand.
Don't.
Joe Biden is very much alive.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Benny Show. This is absolutely the most terrifying outfit I could possibly think of for Halloween, okay? First and foremost, we're going to discuss how Orange Man is a racist, how much we love having war in Ukraine and in China and in the Middle East with Joe Biden, who's definitely here to restore norms. Okay, we're going to talk very much about how much we love Big Pharma and how much we love the defense contractors that run America and the deep state, okay? Big time fans of the FBI and the CIA here, very important. And we are big time fans of Joe Biden. This is the number one thing that we love. We love Joe Biden so much that I brought with me, I actually wear the same underwear as Joe Biden. It's very important. This is what I wear. Everything. I'm such a fan of him. Now, I know Joe Biden has 37% approval rating, but I am that 37%. Okay. It used to be us fighting at the 1%. I'm now in the 37%. Also, when I get parched on our show, I'm going to make sure that I drink a crisp and refreshing, my favorite refreshing drink, Bud Light. Okay. Number one drink of the program. New sponsor. So, ladies and gentlemen, first off, I am protected. Okay. Stay safe out there. Very important to stay safe. Very important to trust Big Pharma. And I have my Dr. Fauci votive candle behind me that we light and we worship every single night. Very important also. So, ladies and gentlemen, remember the most important thing. 1, always trust the government forever. Everything the government tells you is true. 2, Orange Man bad. Okay? Racism is evil, except for this guy who has orange skin. We don't like him because of his skin color. All right? So he belongs in prison. What? 3. I don't even know what that was. 3. This is very, very important. It's very, very bad to judge anyone by their skin color. That's called racism. Also, we hate all white people. All right? Capitalism is evil, and the only way forward is communism. Okay? Because it's worked really, really great and hasn't led to 100 million plus deaths of every single population around the world that's tried it. Okay, so that's what we got to do here. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. And remember, Joe Biden 2024. Is that enough? Is that scary enough for you? Yes. All right. Welcome to the Betty Show. I will not be doing the whole show in that character. I will not. I can't do it. I won't do it. Look at this. There's spider webs on the microphone. They fell off, Royce. They fell up. Welcome to the Benny Spooktacular. Spooktacular was that's what Crowder used to do. It's been a spooky special, right? We made the entire, Rolls-Royce has made the entire studio spooky. We got green lights, we got purple lights, we got big orange pumpkin right by Orange Man. Right there. Look at that. Look at that. Which one's the mugshot? You don't even know. You don't even know. Which one's the mugshot? We got a giant pumpkin here, ladies and gentlemen, and we even do have a bag of Depends. Standing at CVS this morning asking what to do. This is the scariest outfit I could possibly think of. Do you remember these people? This is insane. You remember these people? Ooh, baby, we have a spooky show for you today. We're just going to do it live. It is Tuesday, October 31st, 2023. Happy Halloween. Could you imagine doing the show like that? People live like this. People live like this. There still are people. Have you seen people? There still are people who wander around like this in the year 2023. Look at these look at my glasses. I can't see anything. I can't see the script or anything. Joe Biden holds cringe. I'm going to try and do the intro just with this. This is how terrible these things are. Okay? Just with this. Hold on. There we go. Double. You gotta do the triple. It only works. Remember what Fauci said. It only works with triple masking. Okay? It only works with 3 of them on and 1 more just for protection. Okay? Here we go. Today is Tuesday, October 31st, 2023. Happy Halloween. Joe Biden holds cringe Halloween celebration at White House as Kamala cackles her way through AI speech. Hunter Biden took $2,500 loans from Chinese business partner. House Representatives Chairman James Comer joins the show. My name is Benny Johnson, and I can't breathe. Okay. All right. That's enough of that. Oh my God. Okay. We are done. Okay. Enough. We may bring the masks back out later in the show. But wow. Do you know this box of masks? This costs $15. That's how much they're ripping off libs these days. So the libs who had their brains broken, like who already have student loan debt out the wazoo, can't afford anything, live in their studio apartments with their cats. They are getting charged $15 for a little box of masks these days. That's how much they're taking advantage of these people. Be thankful you're not one. Ladies and gentlemen, was that scary enough? I'm checking out the comments section. Benny, you're going to pass out doing that. Put the mask on the pumpkin. Okay, maybe we will. Can we put the mask on the pumpkin? No, I don't. Here. There you go. There. All right. Remember when Donald Trump wore the mask and he ripped it off on the White House balcony? Oh, it was glorious. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We got one hell of a show for you. Very scary stuff. The Joe Biden White House is truly and utterly horrifying. And Joe Biden had Christmas come early. I know it's Halloween, but Joe Biden had Christmas come early yesterday because a bunch of kids wandered into the White House, got paraded in front of him. And hey, baby, that's Christmas morning for Joe. Can't imagine something better for Joe Biden. Joe Biden goes to bed and dreams of sugar plums, and that's what he thinks about, all these little children being paraded in front of him that he can sniff and he can grab and he can cajole. It was super creepy. No costume Joe Biden drops candy. When he sees kids dressed for Halloween at White House, gets very spooky as cringe Jean-Pierre dresses as an angel and Jill Biden went as a cat. Meow. So here are the costumes from Joe Biden and Jill Biden yesterday at the White House. Yes, we have a very, very spooky show set up for you. And yes, you probably couldn't hear, but James Comer will be joining the show. We'll see if he jumps in and then sees our set and sees this shirt and then just logs off. It might actually, we'll see. We love James Comer, but he may be like, oh, I ain't doing that. And he may bounce. We don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Biden and Jill Biden yesterday at the White House. Get ready. Cringe Force 1, go. Joe Biden as a dementia patient. That's what Joe Biden was at the White House. Joe Biden as a dementia patient. Okay. Joe Biden, of course, couldn't help himself. Went in for the little sniff. Again, this is Christmas morning for Joe Biden. They parade the kids in front of him. He doesn't even have to do work for it. And Joe Biden, you know what he's going to do. In for the old snifferoo. Happy Halloween, kid. All right, come on over here, guy. Also, just a reminder, the same people who brought you all this, very concerned about your health, okay? Very concerned about your health. So concerned, I'm going to make my mic wear the mask. Okay, Mike's going to wear the mask. I'm very concerned. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we got, I mean, you really can't do the show in these. Like, I was about to pass out. Like, I'm lightheaded right now because I was triple masking. My God. Dr. Fauci did actually. Dr. Fauci, there's a clip of Dr. Fauci saying you should totally triple mask. Well, the people who brought you all that also brought you Joe Biden coughing into his hand, wiping it on candy yesterday, and shoving it into little children's faces. Watch.
Water gets him kind of I'm not that worried.
Joe Biden, here you go, kid. How you like these apples? You know, I weirdly, nobody knows, but I have squirrel nuts on my chin, and we don't know how they occur. It's very strange. The doctors can't figure it out. The doctors can't figure out how Joe Biden can't hold candy. Remember, in Alzheimer's and in dementia, you lose control of your motor skills. And so Joe Biden literally physically dropping the candy yesterday. Couldn't even hold on to the candy bars. Watch. All right, and Joe Biden tries to eat plastic ice cream, of course, because remember, kids, these are the same people who built the food pyramid. The guy's shaking. The guy's shaking. The guy's shaking. The guy has. Should I take this off, Royce? Is this affecting the? Yeah. Okay. All right. Royce is telling me take the mask off. You can't hear anyone in these things. You can't even got to do a show here. Put the mask on the mic, and you can't hear anything. And they wanted us to walk around with those for the last 3 years. They tried, by the way. They tried as hard as they could to bring COVID back. They needed an emergency. Joe Biden needs an emergency right now. He is living inside of a house of horrors, but for Democrats, for us, obviously as well, who has to suffer under his policies, but Democrats are freaking terrified right now. The house of horrors for Joe Biden. A reminder, ladies and gentlemen, of course, of what they stole from us. A reminder of what Halloween looked like just 4 years ago. Watch. Camelot. Donald Trump placing the full-size candy bar on top of the head of the inflatable minion. Well done, Donald Trump. Don't you miss it? Don't you miss Camelot? Melania there, and like, was that like a military themed? Is that like a camo dress? It kind of looked to me like a camo dress. It looked to me like a camouflage dress, like a support the troops kind of thing. Nothing like what Jill Biden was wearing yesterday. Can we jump down to that Jill Biden as a cat? This is what Jill Biden looked like yesterday. You gotta, I mean, please. What section of Bed Bath & Beyond did Jill Biden have to shop in to find this one? Look at, I mean, please. Dressed very, like, I wonder if this is the outfit that Jill Biden wore when she was babysitting for Joe Biden and his wife. Babysitting Joe Biden's kids, and that finally turned on Joe. Who knows? Joe's a very feline character. Meow. Jill Biden going as a cat. Nightmare fuel. I guess you'd have to be a doctor to get it. You'd have to be a smart doctorate in education, of course. Also, what school does Jill Biden teach at? We hear she's a teacher. Can somebody tell me what school does she teach at? What courses does she teach? Where are her students? Can somebody please explain that to me? Like very slowly, like you would to a child, like apparently what Jill Biden does. Joe Biden all the time says Jill's not here because she's teaching. Where exactly does Jill Biden teach? Dr. Jill Biden. ED. Not sure. Maybe Jill Biden could teach us how to count. And for instance, we have a counting exercise that we have built here for the show. We have the top 10 cringiest, most horrifying moments of the Joe Biden White House for you and for your viewing pleasure, ladies and gentlemen. The show is going to be rip-roaring, just gonna kind of wing it, and we're going to go with the most horrifying thing that we can possibly give you. This will shock and scare you. Don't worry about watching any Halloween nightmare fuel movies. Don't worry about wandering around your neighborhood if people dress up or getting spooked or going to a haunted house or anything like that. This is the scariest thing you will see. This is the scariest thing you can see. You don't need haunted houses. You simply need to have Dylan Mulvaney in your White House, and it will become the scariest thing you've ever seen. This happened. This is real. This will go down in history as something that happened in America. Watch.
It's day 222 of being a girl. I'm in Washington, D.C., and I'm going to the White House to speak to the President of the United States! And y'all are obviously wondering what I'm gonna wear to meet the President. Here you go. It's the trans flag colors. Cute, right? Do you think I just knock on the front door? Let's go.
Looking for the President's dog.
Our queen. Love you. I love you. We're about to go. Is there anything in my teeth? This is my 221st day of publicly transitioning.
God love you.
God love you. God love you. Joe Biden says. Joe Biden doesn't know what's going on. You know, you've seen the old clips of Joe Biden. Deep down inside, Joe Biden is screaming in that moment. Deep down, Joe's going, what the hell is going on here? What did I sell my soul for? These people do indeed sell their souls to the devil. And if you don't have any spiritual mooring, and if you don't have any basis in reality, then you'll assume that these kind of videos are normal. In fact, you'll hire interns like this.
Sec. Democracy's calling. See you, Daddy. Bye.
Hi, my name is Cooper, and this is a day in my life as a White House intern.
The nail appointment, love.
Yeah, I didn't tell you to do that.
It's called initiative. Hi, White House, this is Cooper. I don't think so. Oh, doesn't matter.
This is actually the entrance to the West Wing. This is so fun, and it's really prestigious.
Hey, POTUS. Is Olivia Rodrigo still here?
No. We've come a long way in our fight against this virus. We've vaccinated 160 million Americans. Are you getting this all down?
Don't worry, Queen. It's all right here.
Do you see why I'm wearing the vaccinated shirt? Those are the people. Those are the people that wants to put, and I quote, needles in arms. Yeah. Those are the rosy-faced, the rosy-cheeked face of fascism. Those are the people. When Hillary Clinton talks about concentration camps for MAGA supporters, those are the people that'll be running them. All right? So that's how it always works, okay? The second scariest thing that has happened in Joe Biden, we're just going to go, this is number one, this is number two. This is, by the way, in no particular order. It kind of depends. It's like a Baskin Robbins of terror. Like, it depends on what really creeps you out. But these are our top 10 in no particular order of things we find truly horrifying about Joe Biden's White House. One, here's the next one. Joe Biden's face. Where does that chin come from? On the hair of my chinny chin chin, says the big bad wolf, but that would require you to have a chin that's not looking directly like a chipmunk nutsack. I don't know. What does that look like? In the lower right. What does that look like? I don't even look. If you turned it upside down, it'd look like, I don't know, Satan's horns. I'm not sure. Who knows? But something's happening here with Joe Biden's face. What's going on with Joe Biden's face? What's the deal with Joe Biden's face? Does he wear a mask? I know you're not allowed to ask these questions, but when you have visual evidence, does Joe Biden wear a mask? Watch this clip. And just with an open mind, okay? How many Joe Bidens are there? All right? I think this is a clip of Joe Biden number 3. Watch.
North Carolina. And he was a very conservative guy who was very, very...
Oh my gosh, that's a mask.
African American.
Holy cow.
He always had fight. Well, the key to success...
We have the original footage of that. Joe Biden does pull his neck like this, and you have like a very, very reptilian, very plastic looking sort of wave going on there. Like it's super weird. It happened. It happened live on Sean Hannity's show. So what is that about? Well, we've shown you the clips of plastic surgeons. I think that's because they've tucked so much of Joe Biden. They pulled his skin back so many times. So yes, Joe Biden does wear a mask. It's like a creepy mask of his own skin. They've pulled it back so many times that there's like all this excess skin hovering around the back of his neck. And so it rolls like reptile skin. Ugh. How many Bidens are there? We at least can count 2 of them. Here are two videos released on the same day of Joe Biden in the same spot of the White House, in the same outfit. But it's clearly 2 different Bidens, okay? Clearly 2 different Bidens in these videos. I cannot believe that we were able to capture this. The great producer, executive producer, ALX, put them together, and you don't get better than this. Here's the definitive proof that there are 2 Bidens.
Folks, as we fight inflation, you can't be pro-insurrection and pro-cop. Bringing down gas prices is a big part of the job. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-democracy. You can't be pro-insurrection and pro-American. And here's the good news. Gas prices have dropped every day this summer. That's more than 40 days in a row. Donald Trump lacked the courage to act. We now have 40,000 gas stations in the United States where the price of gas is $3.99 or less. The brave women and men in blue all across this nation should never forget that. How do we get the
Brave women and men. Hey, ladies and gentlemen. What is with the pupils? What is with the dilation? I've showed that to some medical experts that I know, and they say that Joe Biden is just getting hopped. I mean, he's just hopped up on drugs. He just hopped up on drugs. That's all it is. Maybe they're legal drugs, but they have him on something. It's not normal to have your eyes not blink and your pupils like be completely black. And your voice changes, right? They have him on something. Again, to Joe Biden. It doesn't mean there's like a Joe Biden it doesn't mean there's like an actor in the back. Although whatever. I mean, I'm not going to question. At this point, I will question everything. But what I'm saying here is that they clearly pump Joe Biden full of something and then send him out because he sounds totally different. He looks totally different. But he's wearing the same thing in the same location in the White House. So one is just pre and post-op. That's all it is. Ladies and gentlemen, scarier things at the White House we cannot find than the horrifying tale of Sam Brinton. Sam Brinton is a man who was in charge of our nuclear energy. But this man spent his time stealing women's clothing throughout the airport. Sam Brinton. Do we have photos of Sam? No? Okay. Sam Brinton was standing next to Admiral. There you go. This person was in charge of all the nuclear fuel in America. How about that? And instead of doing that job, was instead a klepto that was stealing women's clothing at the airport, including that outfit. Stolen from an African lady who's a fashion designer. There you go. Sam Brinton stalked. Are you a woman in the audience? You a woman in the audience? Okay, imagine this. Sam Brinton, this guy employed by Joe Biden and celebrated by Joe Biden, stalks you through the airport, follows you around because he likes the way you dress, and then grabs your luggage after stalking you, takes your stuff home and wears it on camera, and is celebrated by Joe Biden. Okay? Pretty terrifying. Kamala Harris needs no introduction, ladies and gentlemen. Every time she takes to the microphone, it is a horrifying mess. Here's a good example.
In fact, I'm going to share with you a very simple story, which is that I went home one day and I said, well, why are conservatives bad, Mommy? Because I thought we were supposed to conserve things. I couldn't reconcile it. Now I can.
That's why we have her. That's why we have her creepy laugh on the cringe alert, because it is so truly terrifying. Hillary Clinton was welcomed back to the White House in a horrifying and bone-chilling moment.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is such a great honor for me to be here and to be part of this celebration and announcement. Mr. Hieda, thank you so much for that lovely introduction.
Yes, they are rehabilitating Hillary. What do they got planned? We'll see. Speaking of rehabilitation, there is a man who looks scarily, he's on our cover image today, scarily like Uncle Fester. Somebody looks just like Frankenstein and acts a lot like Frankenstein, a man who was checked into a mental hospital for months after entering the Senate, and they decided to let this man introduce Joe Biden. Went about as well as you'd expect. John Fetterman, take it away.
And now I'm standing next to the president again, next to a collapsed bridge here. And he is here to commit to work with the governor and the delegation to make sure that we get this fixed quick, fast as well, too. This is a president that is committed to infrastructure. Yeah, and then on top of that, the dual kind of law of the inflation bill that is going to make sure that there's going to be bridges all across like this, all across America getting rebuilt.
Uncle Festerman. Uncle Festerman. That is the new name. That is what we shall call him. He looks just like Uncle Fester. He talks like Uncle Fester. And it's very rare that Joe Biden stands next to a guy and is like, this guy's not making any sense. What's he talking about? Infrastructure? And also, he starts off his speech there going, we're standing here next to a collapsed bridge, and then points to Joe Biden. Speaking of spooky, John Fetterman was asked about the impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden, and he went, "Roo!" The greatest Uncle Fester impression. I mean, you're just begging for it at this point, pal.
About this news that Speaker McCarthy has formally launched an impeachment or has said he's going to.
Oh my God, really? Oh my gosh, it's devastating. Ooh, don't do it. Please don't do it. Oh no, oh no.
So we gotta run back to the office, but
Okay, yeah. You're giving us too much material. It's hard to find parody anymore. Like life is like reality is the parody. Reality is the parody. Joe Biden proving that the White House and his entire administration is haunted. Joe Biden regularly shakes hands with ghosts. We have footage of it on camera.
תודה לנשיא המדינה ולנשיא ארצות הברית. Thank you, President Herzog and President Biden. ועכשיו, קהל נכבד, honored guests.
This is one. We have like dozens of these. Joe Biden. Shaking hands with the ghosts. It's amazing. What Joe Biden's ancient. I mean, how like he does. Joe Biden looks exactly like the poltergeist. What does he know? Does he see the ghosts? He must see the ghosts. Joe Biden sees the ghosts. So Joe Biden must have seen the ghost, the most famous ghost in the White House. A ghost that caused a ton of news, actually, in the White House. Because it must have been a ghost that left the coke in the White House, right? Like, recall that there is multiple bags of cocaine left in the White House. Not one, They want you to think it's one. The Secret Service said that this is the third incident of a bag of cocaine being left inside of the residences of the White House, places that visitors don't get to go to. By the way, this is the White House. Lauren Boebert can go to a movie theater in Colorado, and there are like 17 different angles of every step that she takes in a movie theater in 4K. But they don't have any footage of the person who left the bag of coke in the most guarded house on Earth, in the most secure location on planet Earth, the White House. Got it? Got it? Yeah, right. Yeah, sure. There is footage, actually, of the people who left the cocaine in the White House, because the same weekend that the cocaine was found in the White House, we did have images of the apparition that may have left it. You can see playing here some ghost-like figures wandering around the balcony, peppering their nose and being all sweaty and jerky and yeah, I don't think this is going to be a really tough nut to crack. Now, according to the Secret Service, Joe Biden knows who the ghost is. Joe Biden is a member of the Biden family orbit, but that Secret Service agent who spoke on the condition of anonymity said it's not Hunter Biden. So what's that about? We're not exactly sure. We're not exactly sure. Joe Biden does indeed tend to fall down a lot. Perhaps these are the actions of ghosts, because there really is no logical explanation, other than, of course, a collapsed nervous system, that Joe Biden would fall while walking across a flat stage or walking up a simple flight of stairs. Perhaps it was ghosts the entire time. Maybe this is the explanation we've been looking for. Ladies and gentlemen, every time that Joe Biden has engaged with a ghost, and it has caused him to take a tumble. Scary, scary times. Watch.
Has allocated to invest in police departments and training of police officers. It appears as though the president did have a slight trip there as he's boarding.
Ladies and gentlemen, the scariest thing, however, from the White House is that were something terrible to happen to Joe Biden, were he to be impeached, or were he to take a tumble that he couldn't recover from, or were something even worse to happen, mentally or physically, to Joe, then we have the replacement. Constitutionally, this is what is required to lead our nation.
Questions about the president's age often go hand in hand with questions about how you would step in the role, if necessary. Do you feel prepared for that possibility? And serving as vice president prepared you for that job?
Yes.
And how would you describe that process?
Which process?
Like as far as being ready for that.
Well, first of all, I'm answering your hypothetical, but Joe Biden's going to be fine, so that is not going to come to fruition. But let us also understand that every vice president understands that when they take the oath, that they must be very clear about the responsibility they may have to take over the job of being president. I am no different.
Are you ready to be president? Yes. I'm no different. I'm ready to take over. That's what awaits us. Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Elder was on the show yesterday saying it's going to be Kamala. Get ready. They're going to try and push Kamala. So if you can't laugh, then you'll just cry. So we instead decide to laugh as much as we possibly can on this program. Here are some of our favorite Halloween outfits that we have found around the internet. Political Halloween outfits for this special season. Let's just sort of go from the top, Royce. Let's go. What do we got here? Okay, that's it's always a classic. Donald Trump and Hillary locked up. What's next? Chin balls. Okay, super jiggly, extra wiggly. Oh my god. Okay. But next, Hunter Biden with a key. Oh, okay, a key bomb. Okay, a bag of crack and a key. All right, we're definitely getting demonetized. Let's go. Wall Street analysts includes next. Ooh, God, that's terrifying. Truly, that is horrifying. Go as this. No kids will come anywhere near your house. Next. Oh, that's actually a really good Hunter Biden. That is a really good Hunter Biden. A reminder that we did because of our love of Joe Biden, we are wearing Joe Biden's favorite underwear today. What do we got here? Firefighter Jamal Bowman. All right, really good. We got some Trump costumes that are just rocking. Check this out. All right, huge ups to those parents. Like, just amazing work, amazing work. And finally, a favorite of our show, the TMF INR girl. This is a just dead ringer. Well done.
I am telling you right now, that motherfucker back there is not real.
Okay, all right. Sorry for the F-bomb, ladies and gentlemen. We deeply apologize. We try and bleep our show. We have a family-friendly show here, and we also thank you very much for watching. We hope that you are watching if you are on a cellular device on our favorite network, Patriot Mobile. Patriot Mobile keeps us connected and going, and we have a lot more Halloween content for today. So stay tuned with us and stay connected with Patriot Mobile, America's only Christian conservative wireless company. Go to patriotmobile.com/Benny or call 972-PATRIOT to get free activation today when you use the offer code Benny. patriotmobile.com/Benny to stay connected, and you will be laughing the rest of the day if you stay connected to our program. We have a lot of special features coming up. We like that. This is good time to not be so serious. Not be so serious, because there are serious problems with this country. There are serious issues in this nation that are facing this nation. For instance, yesterday, news broke that Hunter Biden took $250,000 loan from a Chinese business in the lead up to the 2020 election. Well, why exactly would you do that? Well, I mean, you would do that to get paid off. This is a bribe. This is getting bribed. They're just bribing Joe Biden's family. And as we've covered here, time and time again, you can bribe a family member and still be guilty of bribery. Family members apply to you. If you're the politicians and someone's bribing your family and that's affecting your policy, that's guilty. John Solomon has the story.
I think we're going to learn a lot in the next few days about just how much Kevin Morris has provided Hunter Biden in financial assistance since the 2020 election. Keep in mind, both of this loan that occurred in 2019 is after Joe Biden is already announced for president. So people know he could be the next president of the United States. There's a loan that comes in for China. Then Kevin Morris assumes that loan. That's not the only financial assistance that Kevin Morris gave. We've been able to track millions of dollars, specific transactions that Kevin Morris paid on behalf of Hunter Biden. It's in the millions of dollars. We'll be able to divulge more of that in the next couple of days.
So this just looks like one of the largest foreign influence operations and money laundering operations ever in American politics. Byron Donalds has been very much on the cutting edge of these investigations and had this to say yesterday.
We also now see a check paying Joe Biden directly from his brother, James Biden. Most people are focused on Hunter Biden, and they should. But James Biden has been involved in the Biden family scheme this entire time. So the check that was actually released last week demonstrates the flow of $200,000 from James Biden to Joe Biden, referencing a loan repayment. Well, one of the key ways that laundering money actually occurs or evading taxes occurs is when you treat them as loan repayments and not just as payments. So the key questions now are, where are the loan documents from Joe Biden to his brother Jim to demonstrate a need for a $200,000 repayment? Our investigation is going to continue. We're going to get to the bottom of this and hold this administration accountable.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, somebody who scares the daylights out of the Biden White House, the great chairman of the House Oversight Committee, James Comer. Chairman Comer, we apologize for the outfit today. We got our masks here. Obviously, we've got our Bud Light. We're doing the best that we can to scare the living daylights out of our audience here. But I have a feeling that you have some scarier things to tell, at least the Biden White House, who are running scared from your investigation, especially after you dropped the $200,000 check. And then also these loans yesterday. You're a man of the banking industry. What does this say to you that China gave loans to Hunter Biden? Why do you need loans from China? Couldn't you go to an American bank? I don't understand. Maybe you could explain for our audience.
Yeah, anyone that travels a lot knows there's a bank on every corner in every town in America. Banks are a dime a dozen. So if you need to borrow money, there are plenty of banks that will be more than happy to borrow money. You shouldn't be borrowing money from China to begin with, especially if you're a politically exposed person. And a politically exposed person, as defined by a bank, is someone who either themselves or their immediate family members are a high-ranking political person. So the banks flagged, among other things, that the Bidens were receiving this money from China. The fact, number one, that they were a politically exposed person, and number two, the fact that the money from China was from a state-owned entity. That means they're from a Chinese Communist Party-backed entity. So as Byron Donald said earlier, and he's on the committee, he's one of the main financial guys on the Oversight Committee, this is a sign of money laundering. And what's changed since the last time I was on your show, Benny, is the fact that I now have James Biden's personal and business bank records. And we had to build a case to be able to get these. No one thought that we would get any bank records, much less the President of the United States brothers' bank records. And we have them all. And let me assure you, James Biden was in just as many of the shenanigans that Hunter Biden was in. This is a family business. This is a family criminal enterprise that was very organized.
So the $200,000 check from James Biden for a personal loan the same day that he got paid out by the failing medical company here in Florida, and I'd love to ask you about looking into that in Florida. It seems like that would have jurisdiction. There would be a jurisdiction in Florida, right? Wouldn't there be a DA that could say, hey, we'd like to investigate this. This seems corrupt and criminal. But nonetheless, why would James Biden be giving Joe Biden a loan? Is there any evidence to back that up as legitimate?
No, and the evidence that the media says, the media attacked me when I found the $200,000 check. Newsweek wrote a terrible story about me finding a $200,000 check to Joe Biden. And just a few weeks earlier, they had said his investigation is only going to be successful if he finds money directly to Joe. Well, boom, here we found it. They're like, well, he's all over the board. This was a loan. They said, we saw the evidence. It was a loan. The evidence they're going by is in the memo line of the check. It says loan repayment. So that's good enough for Newsweek. That's good enough for the Democrats on the Oversight Committee. But, that's not good enough for anyone that has any type of financial literacy. I mean, this is, regardless of whether the Bidens come up with some kind of document that says it was a loan. I don't believe it was a loan, but I believe that they can manufacture some kind of document that says it is. The bottom line is this. The money that Jim Biden paid Joe Biden with was money that he influence peddled from that healthcare company in Florida. Mm-hmm. And he influence peddled them, saying that Joe Biden could help them get money from the Middle East. And that's influence peddling. That's invoking Joe's name. Guess what? Joe Biden met those people with Jim Biden in Florida. So this is another person that wired the Biden's money that Joe Biden actually met. Remember, at the beginning of this investigation, he had never met any of these people. So the $200,000 came from an influence peddling team. Whether it was a loan or whether it was a kickback, Joe Biden's $200,000 better off because of his family's influence peddling scheme. And that shows Joe Biden benefited from his family's influence peddling scheme right there. And I'm going to make a prediction, Benny. In the next few days, you're going to find more. We're going to find more checks to Joe Biden, because over the weekend we got about 3,000 more pages of bank documents in. And everybody's like, well, I thought you got the Biden bank records. You don't realize how many different checking accounts and how many different shell companies there are. So we're going through all this, and we should be able very soon to do what a lot of conservatives have been wanting done for a long time. We should be ready to bring in the president's son and his brother to ask him specific questions about specific purchases and specific wires.
I did want to ask you about those subpoenas because Speaker Johnson has been out saying he will allow it. We played this clip of you multiple times on the program. We're like, get Chairman Comer back to work, please. Like, let's get back to work, please. Are you going full speed ahead now? Is everything clean? And are the sites ready on your committee? And we will be expecting your committee to get back into hearings and the impeachment inquiry back into hearings. We can just expect that train to get back on the tracks?
Absolutely. And, we never got derailed a whole lot. Behind the scenes, before the speaker dilemma, we had subpoenaed, after that impeachment inquiry hearing, I had subpoenaed the president's son and the president's brother's bank records. So we got those in, and it's given us time to go through them. And it's not just, okay, here's a wire for $200,000. It's about tracing it. Where did that come from? And remember, they're money laundered, which means they transfer money from account to account to account. And then in the end, it's a loan. And the reason it's a loan is to evade taxes. So when President Biden says we need to double the size of the IRS to go after tax cheats, he needs to look no further than the Christmas dinner table where all of his family will sit. These are the biggest tax cheats in America. And we have the evidence to prove that.
Wow. So I did want to just pin down, you believe that you will be able to issue a subpoena for Hunter Biden soon.
I could have issued a subpoena weeks ago, but we didn't have the bank records. Now we have the bank record. Now you want to bring him in. I mean, I think what the Biden legal team strategy was, they watch, conservative media, and they're like, oh, he needs to subpoena Hunter Biden on day one. He's under pressure to subpoena Hunter Biden. No one knew when we started this investigation, there were 20 shell companies. No one knew that now 10 Bidens have received money from the influence peddling scheme. No one knew that these shell companies had dozens and dozens of bank accounts in each shell company. No one knew that about that $200,000 wire that from the healthcare company to Jim Biden that went to Joe Biden. No, so when we now know that Joe Biden benefited. And that's because we continue to receive bank documents. We have subpoenaed, I think we've issued 10 subpoenas pertaining to bank documents and pertaining to the Biden investigation. And you think, okay, we want to subpoena Jim Biden's bank accounts. Well, lo and behold, he's got, bunch of bank accounts. Hunter Biden, dozens and dozens of bank accounts for each shell company. And it's taken a long time to get this information in, but we have it in. We're able to trace the money now. Now we can bring the Bidens in and ask them specific questions, not just hearsay, because the Democrats could do that with Trump and not have any evidence to back it up. But we're treated differently. Now we have evidence. We have built a case. No one's disputing the fact that the Bidens were influence peddling now. What the Democrats and the media are trying to say was, well, they were influence peddling, but Joe didn't know anything about it. And Joe didn't benefit from it. We can prove otherwise. We know that Joe met every one of these people, including the healthcare deal in Florida that they swindled out of $600,000. He's met every single one of these people with either his son or his brother. And we can trace the money. And one thing Jim Jordan's doing in the Judiciary Committee, they're bringing in people for depositions like they brought in Scott Brady. And we know that the federal government, the FBI, the Department of Justice, the IRS, they all knew this was going on. And as they were getting closer to Joe, then someone hit the brakes. Someone in the deep state hit the brakes and said, no, you got to drop it. We can't touch that. It's an election year. You can't go after the sitting vice president, or you can't go after the Democrat nominee for the presidency. So we know not only there were crimes, we know there are cover-ups. We have mountains of evidence, and now we're ready to bring them in. We're in the downhill phase of this investigation now because we have so many documents And we can bring these people in for depositions or committee hearings, whichever they choose. And we can ask these questions with evidence. This is a check you signed. Why did you issue this check?
Mr. Chairman, we've cataloged, our favorite is Dan Goldman on this show, because we love cataloging the change in language, the prosecutorial change in language, right? It used to be there was no money. Then it was the money was only going to Hunter Biden, right? And then it was there was no money to Joe. There's no direct evidence. That was the one that they trotted out after Devin Archer. No direct evidence. And now you have direct evidence. Where do they go from here in defense of Joe Biden?
Well, there's more direct evidence. We're just trying to track the money. And it's very difficult to trace. Even the IRS whistleblowers said that in testimony. They said that in the deposition, and you could see that in their notes. When you have a wire and you transfer it between 6 accounts in 6 different banks, that's difficult to trace. You have to have 6 different bank accounts to know exactly where that money was traced. And what I always felt like in the end, that if Joe got any money, it was going to come from the personal accounts from those 9 different Biden family members. And that's why we've had to build up the case to get the personal bank records. And we have them. And what you're going to see, another theme, and John Solomon mentioned it on his clip earlier that you showed when he was on Hannity, loans. You know, what it looks like happened was the Bidens were using the shell companies to get all their money up until about the middle of 2018 when the IRS came in on them. And they knew the IRS was coming in on them because they were tipped off and all of this other stuff. So then they started transitioning away from the shell companies and started bringing money in directly in the form of loans. And loans, as Byron Donald said on your show or on Newsmax, whatever it was that you showed the clip, loans are a way to launder money. You know, people said, oh, you need to get their tax returns. I never said I wanted the tax returns. I want the bank statements, because there's nowhere on a tax return that asked about loans. Nowhere. You can look up a tax return. I've got mine in my desk drawer here. There's nowhere in there about loans. And I have loans because I own a lot of real estate. The loans will show up in the bank statements. And the loans are how over about a 1.5 year period that Jim Biden and Hunter Biden were laundering money. Once the shell companies were figured out by the IRS, they shifted to loans. And you're going to start seeing a lot of loans going into the Bidens. And ironically, that's what they said. The last 2 wires we've identified. 3 weeks ago, we had the $250,000 wire from China to Hunter Biden that was addressed to Joe Biden's house. They said that was a loan to Hunter Biden. Now we know Kevin Morris assumed that loan. Then the $200,000 check from Jim Biden to Joe Biden, they said that was a loan repayment. Okay. You're going to hear the word loan a lot over the next few weeks.
Mr. Chairman, we have a final question for you here, and we're very, very excited. We are buckled up for the next couple of weeks. We've been ready. We've been screaming into this mic, like, get Chairman Comer back to work, get Jim Jordan back to work. We have a question here from our audience, from our Benny Brigade. Sir, are you going to be able to bring in Hunter, Jim, Joe, Ashley Biden and answer questions for these local before these local elections are fulfilled, or are we going to have the same old song and dance from D.C. in the House from Lynette Shear of our Benny Brigade? I think effectively saying, at what point will the Bidens be subpoenaed? You're saying we're there. We're there. And look, this is a different investigation. You look at all these investigations from Congress in the past. I hate to be critical, but it's obvious nothing came of them, because they were under pressure to perform, to do the subpoenas, to bring them in, to have that great committee hearing where, everybody yells and screams and you get on, all the evening network, but nothing happens. From day one, my goal has been to follow the money and to build a case of criminal wrongdoing. We've built that case of criminal wrongdoing with Hunter Biden. We're building it as we speak with Jim Biden. And the question was, and we didn't know the answer to this when we launched the investigation, was Joe Biden directly involved? And I can tell you now without hesitation, yes, he was directly involved. He has received money. We've already proven that. We're going to prove some more. And he met with all of these people. And many of these deals were set up, most of these deals, and much of this money transferred while he was vice president. So,
you've got a situation where this whole investigation's been treated differently. We're using multiple committees. Jim Jordan, who's on my oversight committee, but he's also in judiciary. He and Ways and Means, they're leading the investigation on the cover-up. So what we found through this investigation, not only were there crimes committed, but there's a cover-up at the highest levels of the government. So I think people are going to see a pretty impressive work product at the end of this, and we're trying to wrap it up as soon as possible. Yes, the speaker's elections, both of them. Remember, the first one set us back 3 weeks in January. This last one set us back 3 weeks. But no one thought. New York Times followed me around for 2 days when I became chairman, and the reporter mocked me that we would never get any bank records. We have them all now. We have them all. So I think to answer the question, we're going to bring them all in. Joe Biden's going to be a little harder to bring in. Obviously, if the Senate will take this up, then he'll have an opportunity to talk to the Senate. But I think that you're going to see the Bidens get invited to come talk to us very soon.
Wow. Well, we are very much looking forward to that. And it couldn't be a spookier thing to hear if you were working with Joe Biden in the White House. Do you have a Halloween outfit? What does the Comer family do for Halloween, sir?
Well, my kids are all teenagers now, so they're not into the Halloween things like they used to be.
Okay. All right. We wore the scariest outfits we could find, and we booked the scariest guest that we could find for oversight. Godspeed, sir. Thank you, and we are praying for you.
All right, thank you. Appreciate what you do.
What a wild show. What an amazing show. What a world to live in, where we actually have fighters, where we have true fighters, true people that are willing to put their shoulder to the wheel, able to actually use their congressional muscle to find things out, to investigate, to look into crimes, to ask questions, and to hold accountable those in power. The way it works in our government is you have Article 1, which is the legislature, which is James Comer. That's above Article 2, which is the executive. James Comer should be holding Joe Biden accountable. James Comer should have arguably more power than Joe Biden. That's the way it was designed. And we're designed to be a monarchy, a fiefdom. We're designed to be serfs. When Joe Biden just issues an executive order and we all have to abide and live by it, or he's not able to be held into account. This is the order of things, and James Comer is reestablishing that order along with Mike Johnson, along with Speaker Johnson now, Jim Jordan, and some of the other incredible fighters that we have in Congress. We ask you to support them, pray for them. Their work is unbelievably important. I'm very, very excited for what is to come. Very, very excited for where we are headed here. Some crazy news that broke yesterday is that the National Archives has 82,000 pages of emails where Joe Biden used a pseudonym. Court filings reveal VP used staggering numbers of fake names to communicate in private. Well, why the hell would you do that? Why would you need 82,000 pages of emails where Joe Biden is using a fake name? Why would you use a fake name? Why would you use a fake bank account? Why would you use multiple LLCs and shell companies to transfer all your money? Why does it take James Comer 12 months to get all these wires, to get all these bank records? The guy has a background in banking. He knows what he's doing. They set this up as a criminal enterprise. True enlightenment comes from understanding what? That your government is a criminal enterprise and that the people who are in charge are simply Muppets speaking on behalf of those criminals. And Joe Biden is no different, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday, we saw this bombshell story, and there is no other explanation. 82,000 emails where Joe Biden's using a pseudonym? John Solomon explains.
All we know so far is the total number. The archives have not delivered a single email to us yet, so we still have a long fight ahead of us. But just to put it in perspective, 82,000 pages is 27,000 more pages than Hillary Clinton ended up turning over when they recovered all of her emails during the 2016 scandal. So Joe Biden is in danger of supplanting Hillary Clinton as the king of private government emails. And so we're going to be digging in. We expect a lot of these emails to involve Hunter Biden. We've seen a few on the laptop. We've talked to other people who know they corresponded with the Vice President Joe Biden back in the Obama years on these email addresses. A lot of news ahead in the weeks. And I think one of the things to watch is whether Congress goes out and subpoenas these emails and compels the National Archives to release these emails.
Okay. So Joe Biden just needs to have 82,000 emails where he's not going by the name Joe Biden. He uses all these creepy, hilarious little pseudonyms, Robin Ware. And then he names his the corrupt shell companies are named like after his pseudonyms. It's like a really poorly written like spy novel. Like the dumbest the Jacques Clouseaus of money laundering, Joe Biden. And it is getting really embarrassing at the White House. As Joe Biden and Kamala Harris yesterday had to try and explain AI to an audience. This is utterly hysterical. And if we want to send you off with something that'll make you laugh and not cry today, dear God, here you go. Here's your spook moment. Here's Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris cackling at this AI event at the White House yesterday. Does Kamala Harris look like a person who can explain AI to anyone? Does Joe Biden look like a person who's prepared for the AI millennia? Like, does Joe Biden look like a person who could like type on a typewriter? No. But here's how you start the show at the White House.
And there are many ways to define the leadership of our president, Joe Biden. As even a quick review of his most recent victories makes clear.
Oh my God, remember that lady is going to be president. That's what she says. She says, I'm ready. Let's go. Larry Elder on our show yesterday being like, they're going to do a switcheroo and it's going to be Kamala. Gavin Newsom saying it's going to be Kamala. Here's your nuclear cringe for the day. Kamala Harris talking about AI. She's so smart. Watch.
All to help make sure that the benefits of AI are shared equitably and to address predictable threats, such as algorithmic discrimination, data privacy violations, and deepfakes. We named it the Blueprint for an AI Bill of Rights.
So their biggest concern here with nuclear-tipped armed Russia, China, the entire world effectively turning against us, all the oil-producing countries turning against us, nations literally collapsing, the war in Ukraine utterly lost, America's totally and completely broke. We have no money. Everything is being borrowed. The Treasury said they're going to borrow $1 trillion every single quarter, adding to our national debt. The American dollar in total and complete collapse, the border in collapse. Kamala Harris is talking about equitable algorithms, algorithmic discrimination. So effectively baking in the DEI racism and ESG racism into the AI algorithms. That's what they're looking at. They're looking at capturing the algorithms and making sure that no one can be, misgendered. Or that there's an equal number of Black Latinx, wheelchair-bound lesbians that can use AI. Can you explain that? Like, just explain for me, will you? Like what AI is. Please, Joe, give it a shot. Joe Biden, explain AI to me. Go.
And AI is helping the National Weather Service predict weather events, helping the Webb telescope manage 500,000 miles of galaxies away, billions of light years away. I found it when I turned on my phone and saw that. I thought, my God, what is this? Science fiction. I'm serious. Didn't you have the same thought when you saw it?
The telescope. Come on, man. AI. Well, that was the name of AI. Was the name of Corn Pop's sidekick. They called him Al. Al. Big Al. Big fat Al. That was Corn Pop's sidekick. Remember, I fought Corn Pop. It's so stupid. And it like final thing. Joe Biden. The first time he heard his voice on AI, deepfaked. First off, AI probably, it would be way smarter if Joe Biden just never spoke again and just let AI do all the speaking for him. Here's Joe Biden saying he heard his own voice and it wasn't actually him. Wow, watch.
With AI, fraudsters can take 3-second, and you all know this, 3-second recording of your voice. I've watched one of me on a couple of things. I said, when the hell did I say that? But all kidding aside, 3 seconds recording your voice and generate an impersonation good enough to fool, I was going to say your family, fool you.
Got it. Okay, yeah, totally. Got it. Yeah, sure. How many Bidens are there? Is one actually run by AI? Who knows? What's wrong with his chin? What's going on with his chin? His chin was back yesterday, Royce. His chin, the squirrel nut's chin was back yesterday. Why? What's happening with this guy? Is Joe Biden run by AI? We don't know. We're not sure. There it is. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things doesn't belong. Let me tell you what. When you go trick-or-treating tonight, if you have little kids, I have little kids, you go trick-or-treating, they hold out their little basket. You get one of these bad boys in your basket, little coin, little gold coin. You say, give me that, kids. That's not for eating. They're little chocolate-covered gold coins. Maybe you'll get some of those. This is real, actual, solid gold. This is a solid gold coin sent to me by my friends at Allegiance Gold. The holiday seasons are coming up, baby. Holiday season. Ching-a-ling-a-ling. It is Thanksgiving and Christmas time after today. My wife already has all the Christmas decorations ready to go. Like, hold, go! The Christmas lights are already up at our house. Outside. Did they have 2 days ago? We're those people, okay? So get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Gold, okay? Little gold coin, little gold chocolate coins, what your kids might get tonight. But you should consider gold, potentially, as a gift to your significant other, your family, or yourself this holiday season. Go with my friends at Allegiance Gold. They have best ratings in the business, and they can help you protect your investments and protect your fiat currency, which is utterly worthless and becomes worth less every single day. ProtectWithBenny.com today, or call 844-66-BENNY to get up to $5,000 in free silver with a qualifying purchase. Don't wait. Protect your future today. It's Christmas season. ProtectWithBenny.com, or call 844-66-BENNY. If your kids get one of these, grab it. Grab it. Quick. Put it in your closet. Put it in your safe. They actually get a real gold coin. That'd be awesome. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do that one year. Who knows? Ladies and gentlemen, you are solid gold. We thank you for being part of the Benny Brigade. We asked the Brigader question to James Comer. You can join us at Benny Johnson /Brigade. You can go there and join the fastest growing, members only, exclusive community online. For less than a $5 footlong a month, you can support us and keep us independent so that we can keep doing the work that we do here. Today was a very goofy, fun show. We want to make sure that we keep light in heart and light on our feet, and that we can usher in, ladies and gentlemen, the Great Awakening. Because we're winning. We're actually winning. So please join the Benny Brigade today. Of course, when you join the Benny Brigade and sign up for an annual subscription, you get the greatest keychain in America. Maybe we'll put some of these out on our front porch. The greatest keychain in America, the Brigade keychain, plus the Salty Army on the back. Come on, baby. Providing jobs for veterans and providing jobs for great American craftsmen, leathersmiths. That's what we're about here. The Great American Renaissance, the Great American Revival, and the Great American Awakening. Ladies and gentlemen, join the Benny Brigade today and be awakened with our Bible verse of the day. Let us banish all these evil spirits from the studio with the verse of the day from the good book. The word is near you, in your mouth and in your heart. That is the message concerning faith that we proclaim. Make sure that you are always founded and set firm, especially on like days like today where there really is like spiritual energy around, okay? And we don't really celebrate Halloween in our household that much. I mean, our kids will dress up as cute little animals, right? And go get some candy for an hour this afternoon. But like, careful about like dark spiritual energy. Like, don't mess with that stuff. Ouija boards, witch stuff, Salem witch stuff, like that. Like spirits are real, man. Spirits are real. Dark forces are real in this earth and on this planet. And the spiritual realm, don't mess with it, right? Make sure that you have God's truth in your heart, in your mouth, written on your heart, and proclaim your faith. And make sure that you can fight off those evil spirits, and fight them off we shall. We will win on this program. We will march forward. And we say, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. I'll leave you with this. There are many people who are sitting there today like this. You're not one of them. And that's something to be thankful for, because this is really scary. This is what you should really fear, ladies and gentlemen. Let's make sure these people have no power. We shall win, and we shall have the victory. It's your boy Benny. Thanks for watching.